What's up guys, Bloodshed here. Today I want to talk about the Diablo 4 quarterly update for August 2022. I'm going to read through all the big announcements in the blog post, give you my thoughts, and I want to hear down below in the comments what you guys think of everything. Make sure to like the video as it does help the channel immensely. So let's go ahead and get started. This time around we're talking about seasons. Diablo 4 seasons are modeled after those of Diablo 3. When a new season begins, all the characters from prior season are moved to the Eternal Realm, so I guess non-season, where you can keep playing, leveling up, and collecting loot. To play the new season, you'll create a fresh character and experience the new seasonal features and content while leveling up alongside other players. That's kind of good. It does give us that fresh start. It's similar to D3, Path of Exile, Diablo 2. It's kind of in line with other ARPGs and what we're used to. This, along with capping Paragon points in D4. Okay, I complained about them not capping Paragon or not coming out and capping it from the beginning. So now they're basically confirming that they're capped. But the cap could be so high that it's basically not capped like D3, right? There's a cap in D3, but nobody can attain that in a season. So I'm not sure what the number is, but I love capping Paragon because it allows for a completion feeling, and then you can play alts and things like that. Ensures that your effort and skill measured by both dexterity and theory crafting determine how powerful your character becomes, and it allows players who missed last season to participate. This season design requires that all sources of character power come from playing the game, so you'll not be able to pay for power in D4. So this is a loaded, it's talking about MTX, it's talking about seasons, it's talking about Paragon, all in one little paragraph here. I'm gonna come right out before I continue reading and talk about MTX really quick. So here's the thing, they could say the right things, right? No pay for power, no pay to win, all that stuff, that sounds great. And we want to hear that. And they can show us the blog with no pay to win, all that stuff, and that sounds great. They can release an alpha or beta with no pay to win, and that sounds great, just like they did with DI. But then as soon as the game releases, are they gonna flip the switch on us, right? So I think a lot of us are just weary that things might change at the very last second as we actually have a new example to go off of. So I think a lot of us think it won't be pay to win, but there's just always that thing in the back of your head, you know, that's gonna be just ticking away, making you think that there might be something that is not revealed yet, or something, some way to exploit something to make it seem pay to win. Like, can you buy stuff and then trade it, and then that gives you currency, and then that's kind of like pay to win, kind of like Black Desert Online. You can like buy cosmetics and then trade them or whatever, or even in Lost Ark you can buy cosmetics, sell them on the auction house, and then get money from that. Like, I just feel like there's going to be some loophole or some way that it could happen. So I think a lot of us have been burned many times, not just by Blizzard but by other games, so we're just very weary, right? Even though they say there's not pay to win, it's just like, goddamn, like how many times do I have to go through this, you know? Season. Hello, Heroes of Sanctuary. My name is Joe, the Associate Game Director responsible for the game systems and live service. New content. That's a cool picture. Yeah, more of this. This looks demonic and badass. We think it's important that players see the game is changing in meaningful ways. Each season will be released with a fresh new gameplay feature. So kind of like a D3 seasonal theme where you have a cube function or an ethereal type system or something to keep it fresh. I love that. That's a good idea. And it should always change up, not just the gameplay, but builds in general. Like, we need builds, new things to play, and new ways to play. And questline that introduces new challenges, mysteries, and possibilities to the level up experience. Okay, since I have them here, I think I did a Diablo 4 video where I talk about right here all D4 info. I kind of just release everything that I could find on D4 and put it all in one video. So what we found out is the D4 campaign is going to be about 25 to 30 hours. Obviously, if you speed run it even, you're looking at like maybe 10 plus hours based on the information that Blizzard gave us. Now that's a long time every single season to have to go through. A lot of people like to get to end game, especially seasonal players. It's okay for season 1, but for season 2, 3, 4, hopefully they give us lots of XP boosts to expedite the process and get us to end game as soon as possible, get us to those dungeons and uber bosses and whatever they're gonna add to the game. That's just a big concern for me. And then if you have alts, you have to level all over again. And right now there's no talent swap system. So if you want a PvP exclusive character, you're going to have to level an alt for PvP. It just seems like a lot. So hopefully they get that dialed in. Each season's questline will reveal more of the world of Sanctuary and your character's place in it. Here we get an opportunity to introduce new characters or revisit old ones while exploring the lore and content of the season. That's pretty awesome. You can do like some kind of time walking thing and jump around, do different storylines or see how the world's shaping. I love that it as more meaningful, right? It has maybe a place in the world, not just like a seasonal theme that comes and goes. Refreshing the meta. Wow, look at this Paragon board in action. This is one of the best scenes we've gotten. You can see here's the board right here. It's kind of the lines is like lava lines here separating it, and then this is how you connect the board with this little gate, and you can see this gate on the left side also is highlighted. So you kind of go through the gate and you get random boards supposedly, and then there's glyphs and all kinds of stuff. This is pretty cool to see in action a little bit. Diablo 4 is a fast game. We want to ensure that we are keeping existing content and features in a place where they remain fun and challenging to participate in. We'll always be evaluating the state of the game and regularly revitalize older stomping grounds. Love to hear that. One clear example here is looking at the relative balance between classes, builds, and powers. We don't want to create situations in which imprecise tuning squash creativity. I love that. Yeah, that's kind of like what people are mad about Dragonflight. They just keep nerfing the flying and taking the fun out of the expansion. So this is kind of cool to see that maybe like they'll leave fun in, and they do have an advantage, right? Where say World of Warcraft is in the game forever or until they do a big patch. You can kind of break the game in Diablo and then fix it the following season, right? Like there could be one broken build, but it's only, I don't know, however long the season is, 2 to 4 months of your life, and then boom, they can flip it and change it, and then there could be something else to play. So it's kind of fun that they get fresh starts, and even for maybe the developer creativity, they get to have fun and do fun things, and then if it doesn't work, it's fine, we move on and on to the next one. We'll be constantly adding new legendaries, that's great to hear, and unique items, amazing, Paragon boards, glyphs, and more that will continually refresh the meta and create new build opportunities. So I have a lot to say. I'm super passionate about Diablo 4, but I won't get into it right now. But keep adding more Paragon boards. Hopefully you can select which one you're using and it's not completely random. I want to hear that. Because then it's like, you know, if you're doing PvP and somebody gets a PvP centric board and you don't, then you're screwed. And it's just, yeah, we don't want RNG that bad, okay? Improving the game. With each season, we'll be looking at ways to simply improve the player experience. As a live product, we intend to hold Diablo 4 to an exceedingly high standard. I love that, okay? Based on the feedback we receive, the team will identify quality of life features and polish work that can be done to improve the overall game experience and invite the community to vote upon their priority. Wow, that's some engagement. Like we're gonna get emails or straw polls, or how's that gonna work? While we cannot always flip a switch to tackle something immediately, you can rest assured that we'll be active in improving the quality of the game experience for years to come. Live events. Sanctuary is a living world filled with people, creatures, and factions striving to meet their own ends. Attentive players should be on the lookout for new live events that will crop up each season. As an example of a live event might be the warning of an impending invasion of the drowned, which may last a weekend. I love these pop-up events. You know, again, like World of Warcraft had those like battleground weekends or like different, like a calendar with different stuff on it. These events provide gateways to new adventures and unique rewards. So this is kind of like maybe look at the season journey. It's similar to D3, yeah, very much so. Season objectives. Items can be crafted from collecting materials. So this is level 2, and this is really basic. So hopefully there's a lot of them. Hopefully they have some higher tier carrots is what we call them, things to strive for, things to push ourselves even further. Not just, you know, transmogrify an item or do 7 dungeons. Like that seems really low. I know this is not final and all that, and this can be tweaked, but 7 dungeons is like, we could do that like what? I can do all this in one day, you know what I mean? I love getting rewards just by playing every season, you know, especially if they're cosmetics or fun things, maybe to trick out your mount or whatever. I would like if the cosmetics were obtainable by noobs or casuals, and then you have like a top tier seasonal journey that has an optional achievement. So it would be like the seasonal mastery achievement for season 1, season 2, season 3, and they would have like do 1,000 dungeons, find every unique or legendary for one specific class. We don't know how high the dungeons go, but like let's say like do mythic 20 on all the dungeons, get them all cleared solo or something like that. Like you have these like bigger term goals for people that do play a lot and do want to have like these mastery type of achievements. And then if the casuals don't do it, it's not a big deal. It's just an extra thing that you can do. It's not tied to power or anything like that. Alongside our major season releases, we see the return of the season journey. Players are pushed to explore Sanctuary anew, earning limited time rewards with each chapter of the season journey that's completed. Completing the season journey is quite a feat, with the final step demanding the character overcome extremely difficult encounters. Okay, so I just went into it before I read ahead, but I just hope they really mean extremely difficult encounters, because like in D3, it's not really difficult for the top tier. It's just an annoyance, right? With an especially deadly foe. With the future season journeys, we are regularly adding pinnacle level difficulty challenge for players to complete, proving their worth and earning unique cosmetic rewards. Like Diablo 3, the season journey is free for all players. The fact that you even had to say that's concerning. Okay, sure, yeah, thank you. Completing season journey objectives also grants progress towards the season pass. Okay, here we go. A new feature with a battle pass style progression that advances alongside the season journey. So they're gonna have a battle pass, okay, every single season, enabling players to earn even more rewards just by playing. The season pass has both free rewards, cosmetics, premium currency, and gameplay boosts, and paid rewards. So the paid rewards only have cosmetics and premium currency only. I'm assuming with premium currency, since there's no pay to win, you can only buy cosmetics. As long as you can't trade these cosmetics between players, then there's basically no problem here. It looks like the free pass, though, gives you gameplay boosts. So like I was saying, hopefully it's an XP boost so that when you're playing the season, it doesn't take so damn long every time, you know, or it gives you like an all, like your all gets 50% experience or something like that. This is a good way to do it. Again, it's just what we don't know is what's concerning. We don't know what's going to happen, you know, and like, so that's just right now it's looking good though. So we all know what a season journey is for the most part. Let's look at the season pass. Hey everyone, I'm Keegan Clark, Director of Product for Diablo 4. As we've discussed previously, Diablo 4 will be a full price game with a cosmetic shop and season pass. They're also going to sell expansions and, you know, who knows what else, none of which provide any pay for power options. What if it's really hard to respec in these kind of games, right? You have this big Paragon board, and what if you can buy something at the shop that allows you to respec? That could be seen as a way to pay for power. So they have to be really careful with all these little details that maybe they think they can, like, you know, slip by us, or things that maybe they even overlook, even if it's an honest mistake, right? So just make sure you pay attention to these things. Our goal in designing our in-game purchases is that we want to create beautiful things which add value to players. Nice, I like beautiful things. On a scale of Diablo 4 seasons is much more ambitious than what we've done in the past on Diablo 3. I would hope so. With a large development team dedicated to seasons after launch. That's great. That's great. A big team. Yeah, I think right now we only have a small amount of developers on D3. D4 will be supported by an army of developers for years. Damn. With exciting plans we have for seasons, we want them to be enjoyed by everyone, regardless of whether they buy anything from the shop. I'm grateful for the opportunity to finally share more with the community about our live service model. Hell yeah. Seasons will provide all new gameplay, quests, and challenges, meta changes, and the quality of life improvements. So like they might add, yeah. So this is all the stuff that we pretty much assume, but it's still good to hear. The season pass recognizes players' dedication with greater rewards unlocking as you play more throughout the season. There will be a single track of rewards with free tiers unlocked just by playing the game and leveling, and the premium tier will provide no in-game power or advantage over other players. The free tiers of the pass will provide gameplay boosts to all players. So everyone's going to have access to like whatever gameplay that they want. Maybe they want to do attack or damage or XP or I don't know, who knows. Things which make the journey of leveling up a fresh seasonal character faster and more streamlined. In contrast, the premium tier rewards are focused on aesthetics, providing a huge value in the form of cosmetics and premium currency. Many of the rewards embody the seasonal theme, helping players show off their participation in the season. I always, whenever I play a PoE season, I always buy the supporter pack. I love starting a new season with the new stuff, and I don't know, it just seems like really fun. So I don't mind supporting as long as it's not a bunch of bullshit, right? The season pass has a free tier and premium tier. Throughout the pass, players can earn a variety of rewards for free just by playing. At any point during the season, players can purchase the premium pass to unlock the ability to earn premium rewards. So right go. So if you're like level 10, on the free, then it'll give you level 10 on the paid whenever you decide to switch over, because you earned those levels, I would imagine, right? The Season Pass awards cosmetics. Like the shop, these don't affect gameplay. Additionally, certain cosmetic types are exclusive to the Season Pass. The Season Pass awards premium currency. So they add currency because it's not just Blizzard, everybody does this, right? You don't feel like you're spending your money and you're like disconnected from it, right? If you're spending like $10 on an item, it's different than if you were to spend 1,700 rupees on an item or something like that, a Bluddshed currency. So yeah, they keep saying premium currency. Players can spend this currency on cosmetics offered in the shop. The Season Pass awards free season boosts. Boosts accelerate players' progress for the duration of the season. All right, there we go. For example, a season boost might accelerate XP earned to make leveling multiple characters within a season faster. Because they affect gameplay, season boosts are free for all players. We want to be clear that players cannot unlock boosts more quickly throughout purchases. There's no way to unlock more boosts or boost faster by spending money. So up to right now, they're saying like, we're innocent, and they are on paper, but there's a whole framework here to flip a switch and start adding things in there. I think that's a concern by a lot of people might have, is like, the framework is built in for them to add all kinds of things, to increase battle pass sales for the premium pass and all this stuff. And so it's concerning. I can see why it concerns a lot of people, but for Bluddshed, I'm always cautiously optimistic until somebody's guilty, until I get burned, and then I join the mob after that. Okay. Players can purchase tiers, but they won't speed up getting season boosts. Players can't upgrade. They're basically saying that there's no way for you to pay for power right now. All tier rewards can be unlocked instantly by purchasing tiers. In other words, there's no way to shortcut getting season boosts by buying tiers. They must be earned. The shop. The way we approached designing the shop and cosmetics within it was by thinking about the experience we want players to have. We want buying things to feel good before, during, and after the purchase. So if players choose to buy something, it should be because they want to. One way to make us feel good about our purchases, if I could just interject really quick, is to not lower the price all the time too. Like, you know what I mean? Like if the wings are $30 as an example, I don't know what the wings are going to be, as long as they're not like $15 the next week or the next month, or maybe next year, you can get like a small discount. But the more you add discounts, the more it devalues the items in the shop. You're just kind of pulling away from it. I would probably prefer no discounts ever, but that's just me. Maybe 5% at the most, 10%. It should also be clear to players exactly what they're getting before they choose to buy, with no unpleasant surprises. Another way to showcase that would be like a preview window to see what your character looks in the wings or in the armor. Make sure there's no clipping or anything weird before we purchase them, right? The shop's cosmetics build on top of the foundation of a huge variety of transmogs from weapons, armors, and players we find in the game. There was a blog post where they have like a totally fleshed out wardrobe system, like bigger dies, bigger than D3s, like just you can customize everything, and there's tons of stuff in the game to make you look good. It won't be like PoE, because PoE is free, so you can't look sexy without buying something. But since Diablo is a box price game, you're paying for that transmog system, right? They're gonna have like a full fleshed out mog system in the game where you can dye your gear and look however you want to look on top of the cash shop. So that's why they have it. So it's not like, okay, hope there's no confusion. It's also important to us that the shop is grounded within Diablo's world. So our cosmetics, holistic fantasies, the individual components of which can be mixed and matched with transmogs from armor acquired in-game, allows for endless customization options. Grounded in Diablo's world, so no rainbow wings, no shaper wings, no cosmic wings. Is that what they're saying? Basically, no unicorn mounts. The shop sells cosmetics for premium currency. Cosmetics give players even more options to customize the visual appearance of their character. Nothing offered in the shop grants direct or indirect gameplay advantage. So how many times have they said this? Maybe like 17 times. I love that, man. While many of these look like powerful pieces, they have no in-game stats. So this is what I use the thumbnail for, one of these, because it looks pretty cool. You can see it costs 666 currency, which is probably going to change. You can purchase the whole bundle. It looks like you get the shield and the weapon in addition to each armor piece. I wonder if you can buy them individually. I think Lost Ark allows you to buy certain pieces individually, like the helm maybe. separately. So this is the Wraith Lord, and then if you scroll up, you can see this is the Wraith Lord card. So maybe it's just like a quick link to jump to the set. I think I would just prefer like a picture of the actual armor set there, but maybe I'm tripping over the cards. You guys can let me know, I'm sure. The shop is optional. Players can experience all core and seasonal gameplay features without spending money. Our goal is for players to enjoy going to the shop, buy something when it catches their fancy, and walk away happy with what they bought. For the record, I've spent lots and lots of money in video games over the years, from League of Legends to Path of Exile. I own every single cosmetic there is in D3. I even bought like whatever I had to buy to get all the cosmetics in D3. Like, I think it's totally fine to spend money on games you love. You might not want to go to the bar, have a few drinks. You might not want to buy a freaking $2,000 power washer for your house. Maybe you have an apartment. Like, however you spend your money, however you spend your time is totally cool with me. I think I'm just in the camp where it's like pay for power. I'm like, no go. I hate that so much. Or when it's like gambling, like loot boxes, it's just kind of scummy, you know? I remember even for PoE with loot boxes, I spent like $180 trying to get 2 pairs of wings. Cause if you have 2 pairs of wings, you can combine them to get a third transmog, right? So, you know, it can get predatory and scummy, and I hate that. Just let us buy whatever we want, and maybe even the pieces individually. It just allows for more player freedom and doesn't feel like you're always trying to nickel and dime the player base, you know? The shop is transparent. How can we see it then? Just kidding. It's important that players know exactly what to expect before making a purchase. We've built preview functionality, there you go, that enables players to closely examine every detail of the cosmetic on their own characters before deciding to make a purchase. So yeah, select character for preview. So you can kind of cycle through all your tunes also maybe and see wardrobe, supported classes, necromancer, very nice. The best looking cosmetics aren't exclusive to the shop. Diablo 4 will ship with hundreds of transmogs unlockable from drops in the game, including dozens of armor sets of the highest visual quality. They're incredible pieces, unique and legendary quality items. So on the left, you earn in game, and on the right, you can buy at the cash shop. So they're just like alternate pieces. Maybe they're just like, you know, they didn't have a fit for them or have a legendary attached to them in the game. So like left is what you can get in the game, and the right is cash shop. Left in the game, right is cash shop. So they showed this off in one of the trailers. So this looks really good. I like this visual model a lot. And they also handpicked this, right? So they picked maybe the worst MTX and some of the best ones, because this was on the cash shop. This was on the video too. So you can get this in game, and then you can buy this if you want like this druid archer or whatever. Armor transmogs in the shop are usable on all characters of that class. Many of the cosmetics in the shop are class-specific fantasies, which wouldn't necessarily make sense visually on other classes. Once you unlock a cosmetic from the shop for a given class, you can use it on every character on your account. So like in the future, like if you want to make a second rogue or whatever, that's kind of cool. There are special cosmetics exclusive to the season pass, which celebrate the theme of the season and look similar across all classes. The most important guiding principle behind the shop is to create something players love, look forward to, and appreciate being part of the game. Cosmetics in D4 create new ways for players to express themselves and never provide advantages in the game. Closing thoughts, wrapping up this quarterly update blog, we want players to take comfort in knowing D4 will continue to evolve its offerings post-launch. I think the reason why D3 wasn't supported, so maybe they're answering that question too, is because we lost the monetization. Like they had a pay auction house, right? And they would make money off the transactions. So since that got removed, they had to find a new monetization model. In my opinion, similar to Overwatch. Overwatch 1 came out and they took loot boxes away, or they're taking them away, I don't really know. So now they lost their monetization model, right? So then they had to make Overwatch 2 and introduce a new system. That's kind of what I think is happening here, is they're like, hey, we're gonna have a way for developers to get paid, so you're gonna have new content. They said like an army of developers every season that we're gonna have. So they need an army of us to buy things from the cash shop. Overall, very good blog. I'm sure a lot of people had this on their mind. There was a lot of posts going around this week about Diablo 4 being pay to win. So maybe Blizzard's like, dude, like people are going to take this and run with it. We need to like really kind of implant this in their brain that there's no pay to win, no pay for progress. They're going to do their best not to ever add that. But like I said earlier, we've been burned in the past, so it's understandable that we're cautious. So that's gonna be all for me today. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends and all that. I'm currently moving, so not a lot of streams lately, not a lot of updates to my website. I'm gonna try to get that all done before the new D3 season launches. That's gonna be all for me today. This is Bluddshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.